All right, let's talk about Charlottesville Real Estate. It's a city everyone's heard of, right? But what's really going on with its property values? Let's decode it.
Yeah, when you picture Charlottesville, this is probably what comes to mind, isn't it? You've got that classic, historic architecture, the Blue Ridge Mountains in the background, and of course, the University of Virginia. It just screams tradition and academia. But behind that perfect postcard image, there's a whole other story. We're talking about a really complex real estate market. It's driven by cold, hard data, neighborhoods that are totally different from one another, and believe me, a very unique set of rules that you absolutely have to know about.
So let's peel back the layers and really get the full picture. First things first, we got to look at what makes this city tick, its economy. Okay, the economy. Now, you might think, oh, it's a college town, it's all about UVA. And yeah, UVA is a behemoth, no doubt. But calling Charlottesville just a college town, that's a huge mistake. The reality is way more interesting. Just take a look at this. The government sector, we're talking 29% of the entire job market here, a huge chunk. And most of that, you guessed it, comes from the University of Virginia and UVA Health. They are the two biggest employers around, which gives the whole city this incredibly stable economic floor. It's a rock-solid foundation.
But here's where it gets exciting. It's not just stable, it's also growing in some really cool ways. Check this out. Leisure and hospitality is just booming, up almost 10%. That's tourism kicking into high gear. And right on its heels, you've got professional and business services. A lot of that is actually a growing tech scene, with startups spinning out of the university. So, you see, it's not just a steady, stable economy, it's one that's really evolving.
Okay, so you've got a strong, growing economy. What does that lead to? Demand. Big demand. So let's shift gears and look at the housing market itself. Let's talk numbers. All right, the big one, the number everyone wants to know. The average home price in Charlottesville? $476,300. Wow. And that's based on data from early 2023.
And get this, that number is not sitting still. It's up 10% in just 1 year. Think about that. Even with interest rates going up and fewer houses being sold, prices just kept on climbing. That tells you everything you need to know about how much pressure is in this market. So, the federal government, HUD to be specific, gives us this really handy snapshot. They call the sales market slightly tight. What does that mean? Basically, there are more people looking to buy than there are houses for sale. Simple as that. On the flip side, they say the rental market is balanced. But, with a vacancy rate of only 5.6% for apartments, balanced still feels pretty darn competitive if you're looking for a place.
But numbers are just numbers, right? They don't tell you what it feels like to live there. That's all about lifestyle and location, location, location. So let's dive into some of the neighborhoods that really give Charlottesville its soul.
And man, you really have your pick of vibes here. You want a vibrant, local feel with awesome coffee shops you can walk to? That's Belmont. Or maybe you want to be right in the action, super close to the famous pedestrian mall. That's North Downtown. If you're into just jaw-dropping historic architecture, you got to check out Rugby Road. And then you have places like Blue Ridge and Meadowbrook Hills that have this timeless classic character. Seriously, every single one has its own unique personality.
And his next number, this one number, sums up so much of what people love about this city. 94. What's 94? That's its walk score. It is officially a walker's paradise. I mean, that's a huge part of the appeal, right? Being able to connect all these cool neighborhoods on foot. It gives you that perfect blend of urban living with a small town feel.
Okay, but here's the catch. All that incredible historic charm, it comes with let's call it a unique set of challenges. If you're even thinking about buying or, let's be real, building in Charlottesville, you have to understand this tightrope walk between the past and the future.
Look at this. On one side, you've got the city's official plan for the future. More growth, more density. And on the other side, a map of a historic preservation district. This right here, this is the core conflict in Charlottesville real estate. It's the constant tug-of-war between building for the future and protecting the past. And if you're a buyer, you're walking right into the middle of that battle.
Let's make this super clear. We'll zoom in on one specific area, the Martha Jefferson Historic Conservation District. See all those properties shaded in blue and red? If you buy one of those, you're signing up for a special set of rules, design guidelines. You're not just a homeowner at that point. You're basically a guardian of the neighborhood's historic character.
And when I say specific, I mean incredibly specific. This is a direct quote from the rulebook. We're not just talking about what color you can paint your house. They're talking about the actual shape of your roof having to match the other historic buildings on the street.
This is absolutely critical stuff to know if you're thinking about doing any renovations, let alone building something from scratch.
So, okay, the market's tight, it's heavily regulated. You might be thinking, so where are the investment opportunities? Well, let's take a look. They're definitely there.
This is probably the #1 question on any investor's mind. And the answer, as it almost always is in real estate, is all about location, location, location. But here, it's specifically tied back to those big economic engines we talked about at the beginning.
The playbook here is pretty straightforward. You follow the students, and you follow the jobs. Condos near UVA's main campus, places like Walker Square, perennial winners. Then you have properties near the law school and the JAG school. Think Turtle Creek, super popular with grad students. And if you're looking a bit further out for single-family homes, you look at neighborhoods like Forest Lakes or Holly Mead. Why? Because they're in super high demand from all the people working at the nearby National Ground Intelligence Center and the DIA.
And if you want to see the proof in the pudding, just look at this example from Turtle Creek. It's wild. A decade ago, one of those condos might have rented for what, maybe $600 a month? Today, that exact same unit is going for $1,100, $1,200 a month, or even more. We're talking double the income. That's what happens when you have that kind of sustained demand.
Of course, it's not all about income. Any smart investor, or really any homeowner, has to know the costs. And here's a big one: the property tax rate. It's 98 cents for every $100 of your home's value. Let's just make that real. If you have a $500,000 home, your tax bill is going to be about $4,900 a year. That's a fundamental piece of the puzzle you have to account for.
So when you put it all together, what's the big takeaway? It's that the Charlottesville market isn't just one thing. It's this really fascinating, complex machine. You've got this super stable, university-driven economy that's just constantly fueling demand. And that demand is happening inside a city that is fiercely protective of its history. The result? A totally unique and incredibly competitive place for anyone looking to buy or invest.
And all of this leaves us with one huge, overarching question for the future, right? As the city keeps growing and that pressure for more housing gets more and more intense, how is it going to balance that need for growth with its deep commitment to preservation? The answer to that question is going to shape what Charlottesville looks and feels like for generations.